Now, so you had to record button twice. I learned my lesson.
I hear
So,
you.
welcome to Creighton Station. I'm here today with Coda from PowerOnline.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me. It is an honor.
So we're doing kind of like a makeshift interview, purely audio, in my grandma's sewing room right now.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
there's wood everywhere. It's the polar opposite to what I'm used to recording in. I love it.
I'm not sure what the acoustics are going to sound like for you guys.
Yeah,
Probably
well-
a little echoey, but not too bad.
A little bit of noise reduction, some dynamics processing, get that thing nice and through.
So, we're here today talking about your YouTube channel that you've had for some time now, called Power Online. And I wrote a couple of notes down here from the other night when we did our pre-interview. Where would you like to start off? Like as far as like talking about the channel itself, what do you do exactly?
Yeah, what do you do? What do I do? That is the hardest question that I have to answer. But to boil it down, I do commentary videos, or I guess video essays, discussing like internet culture. Sometimes I delve into YouTube drama, although as of late I've been trying to move away from that scene. But it's pretty much just analyzing the internet. That's primarily what I do.
So pretty much just kind of like breaking down different YouTube videos, or really other YouTubers too, in a way. Huh?
Yeah. And a lot of people think that comes under the thing of critique, which I have done in the past. But I primarily focus on the qualities of why a YouTuber can be successful, or I guess.
So sort of like a how-to.
Yeah. It's like how did they get there? Why does this work? Why do I enjoy this? That's kind of what my channel focuses on. It's just like the whys of things.
So have you ever had anybody critique your critique?
No, not yet. I'm waiting for it. Every so often, or pretty much every video that I upload, especially when I deal with more like touchy subjects, especially like big YouTube drama stuff, I usually get one or two people in the comments that'll write me like a whole paragraph, and I try to respect them too. I think a lot of people are like, don't listen to the haters. I never like that unless it's actually pointless. And I do try to take that in consideration and take what my audience advice, but I've never had like an entire video made that's just like, screw this guy. This loser.
You've done pretty good for yourself YouTube-wise. I mean, like as far as like, subs go and everything, because you've been on, well, this channel, I have in my notes, you've been on for like 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
And you've got, how many subscribers
now? Approaching 2,000. I think I think it's 1,780 right now.
So that's roughly about close to about 1,000 a year that you're doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
More or less. More than most YouTubers just starting off.
For sure. I mean, obviously, like it's less than some, but also a lot of it's my fault. I'm very picky with my uploads, both, and I'm very picky about my topics, and also like just picky about every little thing I do. I'm very micromanagey with my own content. So, I'm continuously impressed that my audience hasn't ditched me already, because I just take off randomly. Like I just uploaded a video actually yesterday, as of recording this, and it was the first one in like almost a month and a half. So I'm just iffy, but I'm very grateful to my audience who keeps coming around.
Speaking as well, I know I do a lot of uploads with Charlie and stuff, but speaking as somebody who before that just purely watched YouTube, I've got channels that I'll watch and they'll go like 2 or 3 months without uploading.
Oh yeah.
But as soon as they do, the quality is so good that like like if you've ever heard of the channel, Let Me Know.
Yes, Let Me Know.
It's amazing.
I'm very familiar with Let Me Know. Their Malaysian Airlines video, I remember when it came out. It's like truly
Netflix
top
level,
tier.
like editing, documentary.
Yeah, I'm not there. Don't expect. No, my core, like in a perfect world, I always want to find that balance of the three main things, which is finding what I like to create, which I'm slowly constantly rediscovering. Also, can I do it consistently? But also, I always, I take a lot of pride in what I make. I want to make it good, especially because I do critique people sometimes, and it would kind of just be stupid to critique people and then not be able to do it myself, especially because in my case, my unique spin on critiques is I will go into the production aspect of it, just because I'm both passionate and relatively knowledgeable about it. But if I critique someone's production, obviously I have to have good production, I can't get away with things that other YouTubers could, and not necessarily saying they're bad. It's just I just like to hold myself to a very high standard. You're mentioning like channels you like that don't upload that often. My favorite channel of all time is Nerd City. Actually, you guys can't see this, but in here I have a Nerd City hoodie that I wear in a good chunk of my videos. Tremendous fan. Motherfucker hasn't uploaded in like 3 months. So
But I mean,
it's how it be.
If you got the viewers that are committed like that, you can do like pretty
Yeah.
much. You can do that thing. I mean, I've seen YouTubers that go like in years without uploading, and as soon as they do, people just snatch up that video.
Yeah, 100%, man. And not even just like that one video. YouTubers will just take off and just reappear. The biggest guy right now has been Leafy is here. Everyone knows him for like the commentary stuff. He started the genre that I'm more or less a part of, and then he just came back after essentially being bullied off. I've done a couple of analysis specifically on those because I'm absolutely fascinated with it. I think it's bizarre, and it shed new light on what can be canceled, especially with cancel culture being such a big thing now. It shed new light on what the power of the average content creator actually has over the community. So yeah.
So, like Leafy, what all does he do? Or,
Leafy is here.
And what happened to him to make him get bullied off? If you don't mind me saying.
No, you're totally good. You're totally good. No, I'm super into YouTube culture. So I forget. It's such a common thing if you're like into that YouTube culture. It's just funny hearing people ask about that. But I totally get where you're coming from. As a little flashback, Leafy is here. Started. He pretty much made videos. He would just take a video and just make jokes about it, and he would do this every single day. Not the most crazy content, but it started a huge trend. He was growing like crazy, probably back close to like 2015, 2016. I mean, he was literally projected to like overtake PewDiePie, which at the time was the most subs YouTuber. I mean, he was going like crazy. And then he just there was another video that was made about him critiquing him. That was in another series. It goes there's many layers to this, as you may be able to tell. But it was a YouTuber named iDubbbz who did, he has a series called Content Cop where he does close to what I do, which is like a heavy critique.
Yeah, I've heard of iDubbbz.
Yeah,
exactly. You showed me iDubbbz.
I'm sure I have. And I've probably shown you the Content Cop Leafy. He did a video on him, and a lot of people credit that with ending him. He was already kind of going out for some a lot of YouTube drama stuff was involved. But most people just thought his channel was like dead, and he pretty much was like non-existent. He uploaded a little, but he was just out of the spotlight. And then he went like 2 years without uploading, and then he just came back, and everyone loves him, including me, frankly. So that's been wild. And it's precisely things like that I like to look at. I'm just weird in that sense. It's like I'm both creative, but also I both have like this marketing mind, and I'm trying to constantly like mash this together into something that's entertaining. And it's just the constant trying to find how to do that the best.
But the marketings work out. I mean, you've got a really loyal fan base that sends even fan fiction. Or not fan fiction.
God, no.
But fan art.
That's what blows my mind. Because in the grand scheme of things, I'm just like a small drop in like an ocean. YouTube's such a massive platform. It's hard, and I'm always, I'm very hard on myself too, because in my head I'm like 2,000. That's not much. Like everyone I know has more than 2,000. I think even small channels is like 20,000. But like comparatively, it's like I've blown past anybody else I know that does YouTube.
Certainly us that shirts off.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I think last time I looked, we got like 50 subs.
Yeah. But again, it's just years and years and years of studying this, like specifically online stuff.
And you had a YouTube channel before Power Online.
I did. It was the Power Waffle. That rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Yes, I came up with it when I was about 10. I did like Let's Plays and stuff, and then towards the end of that channel's lifespan is when I started doing commentary, and then I just rebranded, and I decided. Instead of sticking with this dead channel, I would just leave it up as just like this archive. And then I started Power Online. That's 2 years ago, which is specifically when I started it. And it's grown significantly since then. I remember like Power Waffle, I don't even think hit 200 subs. Yet now I'm approaching 2,000. So it's wonky. It's definitely, I'm still warming up to it. Audience interaction is something I struggle with. I try to respond to like comments, and I have the Discord and everything. It's one of the difficulties of, I don't know, being antisocial, I guess. As much as I love analyzing things, I'm terrible at like actually working with people, but I'm constantly trying to work on that and whatnot. But I'm glad I'm seeing the success I have, and without the use of like a collab or another site blowing me up or someone. It's been all just like SEO work and people being interested in my thumbnails, watching my content, being like, oh shit,
It's all like
this guy's good.
you pulling people in.
Yeah. I mean, like almost every video I get a comment of somebody like, oh my God, your content's so good. And I'm so proud of that. Granted, like I respect that I have a long way to go. But I'm constantly trying to improve. So it's like hearing that has always been like a huge, it's a big ego boost.
Oh yeah. Well,
so it's been nice.
Like, you're doing like fucking amazing,
Well,
especially compared to us. Like, look at what we're recording on right now. I mean, like what works.
Yeah, 100%.
I love the mobility of this. Like, for those who don't know, we're recording off of a H4. Was this a Zoom mic? I don't know.
I have no idea what this is.
Me. Like, you can use this for whatever the fuck you want to do.
You know, I will say it's funny you say that, but like, so I get a lot of credit, and another common comment I get is like, your set's so nice.
Yeah. It looks good. I've seen a couple
Thank
of
you.
YouTube
I really appreciate it. What the biggest secret about that set is it's cardboard. It is cardboard that I spray paint. It's literally falling apart. If you see it with like just normal light on it, it looks ridiculous. It's just spray painted cardboard that I just hooked in some acoustic foam and it just made it look good. And it's just lighting. My audio is like an $120 USB microphone I've had now for 3 years. It's just plugged right in. It's just, if you learn the skill sets to make things good, then it will just be good. You know, it's just a little bit of color correction here and there. Everything looks phenomenal. It looks professional. I think a lot of people stress out about like having all the nice stuff. It's like, I don't even have anything that nice. Even my computer I edit on, it's nice, but it's not nice, you know? You know, work with what you got, make the best of it. And that's something I've always believed.
Now, as far as like your stuff goes, are you thinking about upgrading it in the future? Or
yeah.
Are you just gonna, like, well, I mean,
oh, yeah.
Like, you know, if you got like any like specific specs or anything in mind, are you going to build your own PC? Or are you just gonna purchase one?
My current PC actually is a custom built PC. It hasn't been upgraded in a long time. I think everything's like 3 or more years old except for my hard drive right now. But it is custom built. Building PCs is a side hobby of mine. I can do it, so it's like, oh, cool. I can buy computers for cheap. That's the biggest bonus of it. As for like equipment, I have like equipment I want to get. I want a Canon 60D camera. Of course I do. I want a Shure, whatever the name is, microphone. Of course I want all these nice things, but like, you got to be smart with it, you know. And you get to a certain point. And if you just learn like the fundamentals, you get to a certain point where it doesn't sound that different. If you can edit audio good, then it doesn't matter. Like nobody's told me my videos sound bad, so I don't really care, you know. If I thought it sounded bad, then I would do something about it. But it's like what's worth the value, you know. If I'm on a 1 million subscriber channel, yeah, of course I'm gonna have all the nice crap. But you know, for the time being, I enjoy what I got. You know, I just film in my bedroom. That's how it goes.
Is it so like, as far as like upgrading your computer and everything, do you think that'll be part of your transitional period? Because the other day we were talking and you mentioned that you're in a transition right now from like this more serious stuff to kind of like a more humorous take.
Yeah. Not really. If I'm gonna upgrade, it's gonna be way in the future. I'm gonna have to grow I'm gonna have to make some kind of money from it. Not to say that money means anything, but it's. I think exactly. I'm at the point in the channels like area where it's like, not only am I like where I should be quality wise, but I'm pretty sure I'm very far above. So I'm fine for the time being. I'll do it when I think it fits the channel. You did mention the transitional period, and yes, that is true. I'm mostly being less serious and moving out of like talking about YouTube drama and stuff.
Well, that's one of the challenges with YouTube, isn't it? Like just trying to like change, if you are trying to change the genre that you're projecting onto. Yeah. Which is kind of like what I'm sort of doing right now. Is like, you know, especially, well, we talked about this the other night, but like, you know, Shirts Off's more a humorous show. Yeah. This interview show is supposed to be like a little bit of everything, you know, but definitely branching out as far as that goes. It's a different style. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm going for. I enjoy the analysis content I made, and I continue to make. What I didn't enjoy was the just the YouTube drama stuff. Now, I had a series for a while that was Sad Boy Hours, YouTube's most original news source. That I did for a while, and I did enjoy it, especially because it was all off the cuff, so it gave me a lot of practice with that. Oh, yeah. But, you know, I'm not even that old, but it's just I already am getting to a point where I'm like, I don't care. You know, I don't want to make videos about that. I want to say something. The last couple of videos that I've been making have actually been mostly talking about that. It's been, you know, getting a new look onto the commentary genre. It's just like, I think there's this unhealthy focus on like drama in relationships, especially with like the Twitch scene and this and that, and nobody cares.
it's not entertaining anymore. And I think a lot of people are feeling that way. I definitely got a very positive response on those videos, which I was surprised about. Everyone they want to go back to entertainments. Everything feels polished and faked, and it feels like
reality TV.
Exactly, precisely. It feels like normal TV. It feels like Hollywood, and that's not what people go to YouTube. You know, YouTube is this beautiful thing because anyone can put anything up, and what that means,
censorship reason.
Oh boy, ain't that the truth? No, but anyone can put just about anything up, and you know, if they do it, whatever they do well, it'll get views. And I think that's an amazing thing. The problem is now people are starting to smell the money, and there's a lot of money to be made on there. People are starting to smell it, and they're starting to exploit it.
Well, it's just like what happened with reality TV, you know?
Yeah.
It's cheap and easy to make.
Exactly.
People would tune in.
Exactly. And I think I'm definitely never want to see that. I don't know if it'll go that route. I don't know if we're too far yet. It's just hard to say. But YouTube also seems to have this divide between like the everyday YouTuber, which like your average vlogger, your Casey Neistat, the people who are in YouTube Rewind. And then just like the underground YouTube, which is like figures such as iDubbbz, the Cold Ones, the Misfits. It's more or less where I lie. So you can tell there's this divide between like, I guess, yeah, underground to like towards mainstream is the big thing now. And either one side's going to win or they're going to coexist or one's going to blot each other out, but it's hard to say which. Back in 2016, it seemed like underground YouTube was really dominating. You know, every YouTuber you saw was their own man. They didn't have editors or anything like that. Nowadays, it's a completely different outlook. Everything is so professionally done. There's actual production teams that exist now specifically for YouTube content. It's fucking wild.
Crazy to me.
And it switched in like 4 years. It was like that. You know, I remember Filthy Frank was dominating the website with his like videos where he'll shoot himself in the video, and now it's like, who's even popular? James Charles? I don't know. Makeup channels like Shane. It's such a.
And they got such like high production quality. You know,
Yeah, they really do. It's very hard to compete with.
And they're well funded and sponsored too.
That's the problem. That's what terrifies me. I'm almost afraid that like at some point it's gonna phase out like anybody starting, and now everybody who gets in it's gonna be, again, like Hollywood, like your reality TV. You have to be related or know somebody who's already in the industry to get in there, and that's a shame, to be quite frank. It feels like we're going in that direction, but I don't think we're there yet.
I mean, I think things, especially with like YouTube Red, stuff like that, things definitely took a turn towards the more production side. Because at that point, YouTube is kind of making a step into a streaming service. Yeah. Which YouTube, I feel like, wasn't originally intended for that.
No, I do feel like the streaming service was just to compete with Twitch, which that's gone swimmingly. Yeah, just had my first stream on Twitch the other day, should I mention? So,
nice.
Yes.
So what are you going by on Twitch? Is it still PowerOnline?
No, unfortunately, it's taking. It's a dude offline. All the links are in my thing. I don't want to advertise the stream too much. It's just a new project.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I did. I am excited. Again, transitional period. I'm just trying out new content. And I feel like that'll be a good way to get me back warmed up to taking off the crutch of editing and learning just how to be entertaining just as a figure, rather than, pretty effect,
honestly,
pretty color.
Like I feel like Twitch has become like the new YouTube in a way.
Yeah.
It's just, instead of people, like you said, being well funded and printed, it's just some dude with a webcam or some girl with a webcam doing whatever the fuck they want to and going live for either like 30 minutes or a whole 24 hours. Yeah. Or however long they really want to, you know?
Yeah, it definitely has those feel. I will say there's definitely that side of Twitch that YouTube has.
Sure. 'Cause, I mean, you look at people like, I don't know if you've gotten like super into Twitch yet, but there's this guy that we raid sometimes with the shirts off called K Maddie. And
not familiar.
He'll edit, like he has, I forgot what it's called, but it's through Streamlabs. Charlie knows all about it. Yeah. He has cues, like if you raid him, he'll like cut. He has like 6 different cameras on it. He'll cut to different. Effects.
That's what I want to do eventually with the stream. Again, a money thing. I only have the one.
Still a guy by himself. Yeah, you can tell that he put a lot of money into it. It's well funded.
Yeah, exactly. That's precisely what I want to do. Even with my stream, and I didn't get to utilize them in that first stream, but I want to do more. I have multiple cuts in Streamlabs for different like thingies. I have loops that I've already made for it. I'm working on. I just got my green screen set up finally again. So now I'm making these PSAs that I'm going to put in for breaks. So I totally get what you're coming from. I think Twitch is weird because there's only so much you can say when it comes to the production value of Twitch because it's all done live. But that said, there's just some people really knock it out of the park. Dr. Disrespect comes to mind. He's not on Twitch anymore. Who knows why? That's a whole mystery.
Well, Twitch does like a whole new terms of policies and agreement and all that because we have to be careful about the shit.
Yeah. His is a mystery, but either way, he's back on YouTube now. But the point is, he puts a lot of work into his streams. He has like this. It's beyond even just the fact that he does a character the entire time, but he has this like whole world built in. I respect that. Granted, I don't enjoy streams, ironically enough. I just don't think they're built for me.
I get that.
I have a lot of respect for like actually making and crafting videos. I do have respect for streamers, but only very specific ones, if that makes sense.
I get that.
And I know that can be called harsh, but like a lot of the esports Twitch streamers, I don't know, man. It just seems like dumb luck that they get popular. Like Ninja, for instance, this is a really hot take, but I've mentioned it before in a
Go
video.
ahead.
Yeah, hopefully I don't get you any dislikes. But Ninja, for instance, it's like, he's very good at Fortnite or whatever. But who could have predicted Fortnite was gonna blow up like it did? Fucking nobody. Nobody could. I remember when everybody played Fortnite because they couldn't afford PUBG. Now Fortnite's the dominator. He just got lucky. So in that regard, I have less respect for most Twitch streamers than I do YouTubers, but that's not to say I don't have any. But I'm wondering if that's going to change, and depending on if it does, I'll make a video about it. I wonder if that'll change doing streams regularly and trying to make them good. I don't know if my opinion will change with that. I guess only time will tell.
Well, so just to kind of like give you like my perspective on it, before me and Charlie really started doing the Shirts Off podcast and like doing it on Twitch and everything, like streams just didn't interest me at all.
Yeah.
And they still really don't. Like, I'm not going to sit down and watch a stream.
Yeah.
But I have watched people come into the podcast and then go watch other streams that weren't into any podcast at all. They just came there for us. Like, friends that I know in real life that just came into the stream to watch us, and then they got hooked onto this other streamer, or they got hooked onto us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something about it. And I personally don't know what it is because I haven't had that moment yet, and I don't know if I ever will. But if I do, like, I will tell you. But it's something, I guess, about like being there with the person and being able to chat. You know what I mean? Like, being, like,
I will say there was definitely a new level of connection. I was very happy with that. With my first stream, I actually had a very active chat, and like a decent amount of like consecutive viewers. That I was like, okay, cool.
Well, did you get a lot of people from PowerOnline on it?
I don't know where else they could have came from. So one of them was obviously my Discord moderator, and then another IRL friend of mine. But beyond that, I didn't recognize most of the people.
How many people did you have for your first stream?
I think throughout, it was only an hour-long stream, and I had at least 10 consecutive viewers throughout like the entire period, which was, again,
that's good for like a first.
It was a first stream ever, the first time I've ever done it, and it wasn't even under the PowerOnline name too. So I was thrilled with that. Especially also adding in the fact that I did it at like midnight because I'm an insomniac. So I was happy.
Not like us doing this interview now.
Exactly. But it's definitely a different skill set. I'm interested to see how my appreciation goes. I'm sure I'll make a video talking about like my thoughts to it after I do it for a little bit longer. Give it a few more runs, see how I feel. But yeah.
Let's see, what else we got over here?
What else can we talk about?
I was listening to like what you were saying. I was like, man, that's really thoughtful. And I was thinking about it.
Thank you. Analyzing the internet's like my one niche.
So I have here written down this 404 series.
Yes. 404, along with Sad Warriors, which I had mentioned earlier, are currently canceled series.
That you had.
That I had. 404 is unique though, because 404 is the series that contains my most viewed video by far. Which was one I did on Boogie2988, another YouTuber, which is like this 20-minute, maybe 23-minute, just long critique, entertainment, big video that ended up blowing up way more than like even now. I haven't even had anything close. Was he like a big YouTuber or something? He was pretty big. I mean, he was definitely controversial, very controversial.
So like you, by the way, like I don't know a lot about like, YouTubers and stuff. So,
no, I don't. I don't expect everyone to.
Blanks,
You're totally fine. There's not much more to say that has to do with this beyond. Yes, he was very controversial. And the video did really. I think it's at 35K views now.
Nice.
Yeah. It's kind of always weird. My most viewed videos are never the ones I expect. My second most viewed video is like my laziest video that exists on my channel, which is a YouTuber tier list that has 15K views, which I literally did. Like, I came up with the idea and had it uploaded in the span of 5 hours. Usually it takes like 30 for me to make a video. And this one I just threw on because I was tired that day and I thought it'd be a fun little video. And it blew the hell up. It's also my most disliked video by far, which is hilarious.
Really?
Yeah, everyone hates that video. Actually, a little bit ago, after a year, I ended up doing a sequel to it. I added more just to see if I can fuel more flames. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, both of those I didn't well, maybe the boogie one I expected to go up, but not quite as crazy as that. The YouTuber tier list, I had no idea.
So what's the 404 series about?
404 is just, I take a channel, I critique it hard. It's very similar to, if anyone's listening who's interested in commentary content, it's very much like a content cop. It's my take on it. Where I just find a YouTuber and then I'm a little mean, but I critique them very like harshly. I'd say this is wrong, but I make it entertaining. I say some jokes on their behalf. It's it's part of the commentary thing, but also it's also not content. It's not content I want to be known for, if that makes sense. I want to figure out a way to make commentary content like that because I do have a love for it, but I want to make it constructive. That's why I enjoy doing the analysis stuff. I believe I'm adding more to an actual conversation instead of saying, this man bad, this why bad, anybody could do that. Come on, realistically. So,
have you ever had anybody come up to you or not come up to you, but message you about just critiquing their channel?
Yeah, the boogie one. I had several people. Recently, I also did a video about conspiracy theorists in which I watched a shit ton of Alex Jones. And I pretty much, I analyzed it. And I more or less boiled it down to something I still believe. And this, frankly, is a bit of a controversial take. But I boiled down to what I believe that pretty much a lot of his work is very scripted. It follows an outline. And if you know production, you're looking for it, you'll see it. And it's something I really noticed. So I made a video about it. And whew!
It was a hot take.
Yeah. So, I mean, the funny thing is the dislikes is fine, but the comments I got on it, I'm never doing a video on conspiracy theories again. These people are insane, dude. I cannot just.
You were in on the conspiracy?
They thought I was in on the conspiracy. They thought I was retarded. One lady wrote, I'm serious. It must have been like a 5-page essay in my comments about something. She thought I read it. No, I didn't. No. Oh my God. And I read the line, facts aren't always right. And I was like, I'm not reading this shit. Are you kidding me? But yeah, that's
probably not a good way to start out an argument.
No.
Facts aren't always right.
Yeah. All right, buddy. So yeah, that every so often, I'll make one. I always expect to get more beef than I usually do. The only other time I got a lot of hits was I made a Sad Boy Hours after another YouTuber, Grady Under A, returned, and I critiqued him a bit, and I was like, I'm not really a fan, but people were real pissed about that. So that's the only time. Although I do find that more or less more people agree with me than not. Or at the very least, they'll be like, I disagree, but I respect what you have to say, which I appreciate because I do take a lot of time to try to I don't want to say objectively. It's a word I used a lot and I kind of regret it now because it's very pretentious. Objectively, I'm right. But, I try to make it like, I want to convince, I'm trying to persuade the other side to see it my way. Not necessarily they have to hate the person, but at least like understand that there are things wrong. So I appreciate that I do get a lot of people that agree with me. And I also get people on the other side. I had some comments on the Boogie video that were really fucking mean to him. I mean, like telling him he's like, he should just kill himself. I was like, yo, that is insane. I don't like him either, but wow. Which is another reason that I want to move away from that side of commentary. Because that's not what I want. That's not a community I want to foster. That's not, that's not something I want to put in people's heads. I think that video has a lot of power and speech has a lot of power, and I'd hate to accidentally use that for a purpose like fuck this guy, because I don't think that's cool.
Putting negativity in.
Yeah, and
more like just looking at this like this is like what the actual story is.
Yeah, I want to look at it from like a backstage, but everybody, it's just so much easier to be like you're involved and you're on this side and you either hate him or you love him. It's like, dude, I don't really hate any creator. I'll joke about it for hyperbole as that PowerOnline character, but I don't give a shit about these people. I've never met them. I'm not big enough to care. But people just think you do, and it's not something I want to be involved with. And if I grow bigger, it's not something I want to be bigger for. I don't want to find success on like staking a heart through these other creators. It's just not what I'm about. Just not my thing.
So as far as like the Alex Jones.
Sure, yeah, let's bring this up.
I just had a question.
Yeah, sure.
Did you find any legitimacy to any of his conspiracy theories?
No. No, I did not. I found zero legitimacy. I'm a very skeptical kind of person. So I knew I was gonna buy it. I tried to listen to it, but again, after I heard it a lot and realized that like the constant like the pattern that I discovered is he'll take something, it's literally just an entire persuasive essay, like basic outline, just to assign blame on whatever that he feels, whatever the fruit of the day is. Yeah, whatever's in the news, he just assigns to it. But he does it in the exact same process where he'll give you a little bit of information that you're like, yeah, I can agree with that. And then he'll say something kind of outlandish, be like, but this is true, so this might be true. And then he'll just keep digging that hole until it gets to like the wild 5G causes corona shit that is just everywhere.
I think honestly,
and then he tries to sell his products. That's the core market. He's just like, and then blah, 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 and then you can buy my whatever.
Hot sauce.
Yeah. Well, the funniest thing is he did a whole thing where he's talking about like soy causes cancer. These soy boys. And then later he advertises the product and it contains fucking soy. Wouldn't you goddamn believe it? So I don't even think he believes what he's saying. I really don't. I think he just found a market and he's just trying to get as much as he can from it. That motherfucker is wealthy. I think he just found a market.
This it's crazy to me because we were doing persuasive essays and shit in college and high school, and this guy's just going out there and making a living. Yeah, basically just reading out a persuasive.
Yeah, that's more or less what I do. A ton of people get that. You just don't notice it. I mean, even news has an outline to it.
Yeah.
There's just everything has a format, and most people just don't notice, and it's designed for that purpose. I only notice it because I've literally studied production for like forever. So it's like I just notice these things and I'm like, you don't what? You don't see this? And again, I don't want to say that from like I see the truth kind of thing.
Yeah, no,
it's just I think that based on my experience, which is an experience that not a lot of people study production as hard as can. Not a lot of people study marketing, especially online, as hard as I do. I just think I try to put things together in the context of those things that I know rather than what everyone else is saying.
No, as far as like doing like new stuff, like as far as doing comedy and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What are you looking to do? Like sketches or like funny commentaries? Like what angle are you going from, or what branch of comedy are you trying to reach into?
So I started a new series. It's called Interbit, which is part of the reason. The other thing with the Alex Jones conspiracy thing is the funny part was it was supposed to be funny. I made it to be funny. I didn't think so many people would really side with. Yeah, I didn't think I'd draw the crazies out of the woodwork.
You know what I mean? Like,
I've been good
at like Hitler, or like persuasion. You know what I mean?
I know your point.
He had all these speeches and stuff that like just won people. Like he was like, well, your life sucks.
Yeah.
Instead of it like saying it's your fault, why not blame these other people?
That's what drives me crazy, dude. People don't realize how easy it is to be persuaded, and I'm no different. Just because I can say that doesn't mean I'm any better. Like we have an entire culture dedicated to persuading you to buy something or do something or support this person. Like it's all of that. That's all it is.
They show you pretty pictures. It's like when they found out a couple of years ago that I don't know if this is still true, but with movies. They were showing flashes of popcorns and drinks and stuff in between. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like while the movie
I know what you're talking.
So that
I think I know specifically what you're talking about. It was an experiment where they did it and it worked.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. It worked.
But it was only show up for like a split second.
You wouldn't notice it.
You wouldn't notice it.
Yeah.
If by the naked eye.
It's just subliminal.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And everyone's no one's immune to it. But I think it's important to be aware. And this is moving far outside the range of where my content comes in. Again, I just analyze internet stuff because I find it interesting. But it is it's a core thing. I hate people who pretend that they're above it all. And that's why I'm constantly correcting myself when I say I'm sounding pretentious, because I don't want to sound like that kind of person, because I'm not. I'm not that. I'm not some overseeing genius who knows everything. Fuck no, I'm 21. I'm a kid. I dropped out of fucking college. Like, what do I know? But it's just, again, I want to share the perspective to start a conversation. And that's what I'm doing. You mentioned that we're doing the transitional period and I want to do more like comedy stuff. So yeah, I'm doing a series called Interbit, which is pretty much, I want to take certain like internet things that a lot of people like that who are interested in internet culture would know. So maybe like recently a whole like drama with a streamer Pokemon happened. I want to go in and I just want to ask people questions, just like really quick off the shelf interviews on Discord, and then just edit it into something interesting, funny, see what they respond.
Sort of like Jackson's with the misspelled.
With Your Grammar Sucks.
Yeah.
In a way, but it's less to make fun of them, and more it's just like what people have to. I don't know. It's very hard to explain. It makes sense in my head, but it's hard to explain in concept. I should have looked up his name because I literally referenced him too with our pre-interview, and I just totally forgot to look him up. But there's a guy that goes out and he'll ask questions like just on the street, and it's just about numb things. Then he just edits out to get like the funny question, the funny answers from these people. And it's like, haha, look at this person, they just glitched up and It's a pretty common tactic. I'm just trying to change. I'm the only way I'm really changing it is it's specifically on the internet. And YouTube culture and stuff. That's
sort of in the same vein as the guy who went out and was reading sections of the Bible and Quran to people and asking them to figure out, like, what's the difference? You know what I mean?
That's funny.
People were picking out sections of the Quran saying it was in the Bible. And
yeah. That's funny as shit. Yeah, precisely that. Yeah. Perhaps with a less contentious topic than religion. But precisely that. Yeah, that exact same energy. That's precisely what I'm going for with Introvert.
It's because you can go out into the general public and whip out a map that's not labeled and be like, "Hey, what state is your state?"
Oh God.
And they'll be like. They won't know.
It's insane to me. There's a meme that I always see in Fluctuation, and it's like somebody asks like a certain high number of Americans to hit Iran on a map, and like some of the points are in America. Like it's crazy. It's just like a blank world map. Like I don't know specifically where Iran is, but I know where generally it is. I know it's not in the freaking United States. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, but yeah, things like that. I don't want it to be specifically like making fun of this person. I just want to get those off the cuff answers and then edit them into something interesting.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's more or less what I'm doing.
This is gonna be fun. I feel
like, I'm excited.
I'm excited to see it.
Well, thank you.
Because I think I'm one of your subs on YouTube as well.
Hell yeah! Join the sad boys. Let's go, professional internet addicts. Let's go. Hell yeah!
But I've checked out a couple. It's been a while. I'm sorry I haven't looked at it right before this.
It's all good, dog.
But from when I saw you have a great audience.
Thank you.
In your commentaries, even though you're moving away from that, I could tell like you got a great production, and going forward, it's going to be just as great.
Yeah.
You're gonna probably
consistently trying to improve. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm just also trying to get better at all times.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about, like right here at the end, or?
Oh geez, I don't even know what to add, man. I don't know. I think I covered everything I could possibly want to talk about. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me on your show. It's been wonderful. I'll be sure to link it out. Get who I can to see it.
We're gonna blow you up too. Be like, come on,
let's go, boys. Give me the shirts off, audience. Let's go. Come on, you guys want to learn about Leafy is here? Let's come on.
This is a short interview too. Like about 37 minutes we're at right now, which is great. Like I like to go and talk. Like none of these have like a set time.
Yeah.
I know I told you previously it's an hour and 30 minutes. Whatever you want to do, as long as you go and you feel like you've talked all you want to talk. That's good with me.
Yeah, again, I want, if I was doing a podcast, I would start jumping crazy, but we're trying to, I want to keep a theme for your video. Make it easy to edit.
I appreciate it.
But I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much.
This is the first episode, or second episode really, of Creighton Station. We're rebranding from Creighton Talks.
That was fast. It took me 3 years.
Well, so we're rebranding because I realized that I'm too close to a friend of mine whose channel's name is Chops Talks, and I didn't realize it until after we recorded our first episode.
Oh no!
So this is the second episode, and from here on out will be Creighton Station.
Here's hoping.
Thank you for listening, and thank you again, Coda, for coming and talking about PowerOnline.
Subscribe to youtube.com/PowerOnline. Go ahead and hop in, hit that sub. Also, subscribe to my twitch.tv. Give me a follow. It's twitch.tv/dudeoffline. I'm a smart marketer. Also, follow my Twitter. I'm just kidding. Great, thank you for having me on.
We put your Twitter.
Just put it in a link on below. It's fine.
And then also, on Twitch you can check out us, the Shirts Off Podcast, and on YouTube you can check us out along with some of the other videos you'll find on this channel. We got Two Bros Being Schmoes and Shirts Off Podcast recordings. You can check out all those live on Twitch, and as always, Creighton Station will be only on YouTube. Have a nice time.